So in this lesson 5.2, we're going to find the part which would be the amount of change, which could be an increase or a decrease. So to find the increase or decrease, we're given the percentage. So we take the percentage and we multiply it times the whole, which the percent is changed to a decimal, converted to a decimal. And the whole is the original amount. So all you need to do is take the decimal times the original amount to find the increase or decrease. So this example is about grizzly bear population in Yellowstone National Park back in 1970. It was about 270 bears. And over the next 35 years, it increased by 115%. We need to find the population in 2005. So our first step is to find the amount of change. In this case, it's going to be an increase. So to find the increase, you take the percentage, which is 115%, convert it to a decimal, 1.15, multiply it by the original population, 270 bears, and you end up with 310.5, which we need to round off to the nearest whole bear, which is about 311 more grizzly bears. So it increased by 311 grizzly bears. So in order to answer the question, what's the population in 2005 after the increase, you take the original amount. This would be step 2. Take the original amount and you would add it by the amount of change, the increase of 311 new grizzly bears. So you'd end up with 581 bears in the park in the year 2005. At the bottom, we have an example about a TV that has an original price of $299. First, we're supposed to find a 10% increase and then a 20% decrease. So for a 10% increase, you change 10% to a decimal, multiply by the original price of $299. You find the increase of $29.90. Add it on, you get a new price of $328.90. So for a 30% decrease, you take the 30%, make it a decimal, multiply by the original cost of $299. Here you end up with $89.70. That's a decrease, so subtract it to find the new price of $209.30. On the back, we have a $500 savings account. We want to see if it increases by 10%. Then you take another 10% increase to see if that is better than increasing by 20% right off the bat. So option 1, find a 10% increase. So you take the 10%, change it to a decimal, multiply by 500, which is a $50 increase. Add that on to get the new amount, which gives you $550. Now find 10% of that, 0.10, which is 10% as a decimal, times the new amount, which is $550. You find out that's $55 increase. Add that on, and you would end up with $605. Now let's look at option 2. In option 2, we want a 20% increase right off the bat. So you take 20% as a decimal, which is 0.20. Multiply that by the $500 amount in the savings. You end up with a $100 increase. Add that on. And now you have $600 in your savings account. So which option is the better option? And as you see, it's going to be the $605 option, which is option 1. Take 10%, then find 10% of that, and it'll give you a better increase.